Do want to ask you about Russia, though, Admiral. We've just got some news into us. Russia now confirming it formally will annex parts of occupied Ukraine after those staged referendums, something the West announced as illegal and rigged. So this was the game. Hold the sham elections, get 99% saying, yes, we want to be annexed, and now make this formal announcement that Russia is going to, in fact, bring them back in. To Russia, Putin's going to make a speech, have a big celebration, he says, in Red Square tomorrow, all the theatrics so that they can claim some kind of victory here.
Yeah, you've nailed it. What Putin wants is to pull some kind of prop out of the middle of this tragic stage play he's put on that he can then turn to the people of Russia and say, look, it's all worth it. The 80,000 dead and killed, the 300,000 who are being mobilized, who are going to be used as cannon fodder. All of that is right out of, we talked a moment ago about pulling the binder off the shelf. This is Russian binder number one, annex Crimea. Now they're going to say, oh, now that land bridge between Crimea and Mother Russia are also part of Russia. And Putin will then, Willie, to conclude here, Putin will then really rattle that nuclear saber and say, if you attack Donetsk or Luhansk or Kherson, that's part of Russia. I reserve the right to use even more. So this is entering a pretty dangerous phase.
So, Admiral, U.S. officials I spoke to yesterday say, to this point anyway, they haven't seen Russia change its nuclear posture. That we've had Putin's saber rattle before, but not follow through. At least so far, they're not seeing that either. But I wanted to ask you, mentioned the mobilization, 300,000 reservists being called up. But we're seeing images of protests, men refusing to go, thronging towards the borders or hopping on airplanes to get out of the country, even committing acts of violence at some military recruitment centers because they don't want to go. What does that tell you right now about the state of the Russian military and how much longer Putin can keep this offensive going?
First and foremost, Jonathan, we can look at this and see a military that doesn't work. And we know that from 7 months ago when they tried to invade and they couldn't put together simple logistics, combined arms operations, the ability to keep their soldiers warm and secure and fed on the front lines, let alone supplied with ammunition. So we continue to see a failing, flailing military in front of us, and that extends to the home front. Here in the United States, if we called up the reserves, or if the Israelis called up the reserves, or the Swiss, or the Finns, there's a well-ordered path that brings them forward. They're equipped, they're trained, they're ready. That is not what's happening in Russia. This is like pulling a bunch of bartenders off of Fifth Avenue and sending them out to the front lines. It's not going to work, and it's going to only provide more fatalities and grievous wounds to these individuals. So I think Putin has his hands full, not only in a failing effort in Ukraine, but also in his own nation.
I know a lot of those bartenders. You want those men and women on the front lines. Trust me. We've got some more news into us, Admiral. Sweden just announced, the Coast Guard, they've discovered a fourth gas leak in the Nord Stream pipeline. So 4 massive leaks now. Leaks, I'll let you characterize it the way you want to. But Russia going so far as saying, yes, these explosions or these leaks are occurring in American-controlled, Western-controlled areas, suggesting some kind of sabotage from the West. What is Putin up to here?
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that what's happening is not a coincidence, not an accident, and, you know, QE bonus, who gains? Putin gains. So I think you can pretty well use Occam's razor. The simplest answer is the right one, to say that at the end of the day, what's happening here is Russian sabotage. I don't know that with certainty. I'm sure our intelligence agencies will pull this apart working with the Europeans. What Putin is up to is threatening the Europeans. He's saying, you know, I could go after your offshore oil and gas rigs, Norway. I can go after your critical infrastructure on the high seas. I could go after pipelines ashore or underway. I could go after undersea cables that carry the entire internet. Only about 300 globally carry the internet. He's just trying to show us he's got more cards to play because his conventional war in Ukraine is failing. He's looking for unconventional ways to shift this conflict.
Admiral James Stavridis covering a ton of ground for us this morning. Admiral, thanks so much.